had achieved my bachelor's degree in 2010 in arts, entertainment, and media management with a focus in journalism and business. And that's kind of how this all started. My name is Kim, and this is my Storytime Saturday. Everything kind of starts back in 2010 when I achieved my bachelor's degree in arts, entertainment, and media management with a focus in journalism and business. After that, I spent a few years writing for a magazine in Chicago to focus on the journalism aspect of my degree. After going on a hiatus for a couple of years, I decided that I wanted to pursue my culinary degree. My grandmother owned a packaged food distribution corporation, and she had also studied culinary at the Cordon Bleu in London. So I found it only fitting to follow in her footsteps. I'd already been baking and cooking since I was a little girl, mainly because of my grandmother. I threw myself into an accelerated culinary program at Kendall College in Chicago with the intention to work in food television after I graduated, which, believe me, all of my chef instructors had advised against. If you go to culinary school, it's usually expected that you're going to work in restaurants or own your own restaurants after the fact. But when I have a goal set in mind, there's no changing it. While I was a student, I worked on a local food show at ABC Studios in Chicago, so that was some great experience. I worked in a few restaurants as a student, and I also went to Italy to further my culinary knowledge. I would have absolutely stayed in Italy had I not got the internship at the Food Network in New York City. I skipped graduation, I packed up all of my things, and I literally moved my life to New York City to work for the Food Network without hesitation. Crazy. The internship turned into a freelance position. I was able to work on cooking shows, competition shows, the test kitchen, the magazine. The experience was incredible. During culinary school is really when I started to fiercely make French macarons. At that time, you couldn't really find them in Chicago, so I was having them shipped in from this place in New Orleans called Sucre, which is no longer there, but they were incredible. I also had one of my first tastes of French macaroons at the famous Lottery in Rome, Italy, and after that there was no turning back. After that I was hooked and determined. I would practice them at home, and I would bring them into culinary school for my chef instructors to try. I started bringing them into Food Network for my coworkers to try. I was relentless. I had to get these little suckers perfect if it was the last thing I did on this earth. In 2016, I had moved on from Food Network, and that's when I started my online bakery called Creme. It started working out of my small kitchen in New York City, and it grew into renting commercial kitchens. I was catering between New York City, Chicago, and Philadelphia per larger event for birthday parties, bridal showers, weddings, corporate events, which eventually expanded into celebrities. And if you don't live in LA, it's super hard to get the attention of celebrities. And I was living in the second city at the time. Word of mouth is everything. I can't stress that enough. Soon thereafter, I was picked up by the Food Network again, but this time as an influencer contributor for their social media platforms. I would simply create videos decorating French macarons. It was a dream. My very special friend, Eric, whom I met at the Food Network, is responsible for a lot of these monumental connections and moments. He's my spirit friend. Life has changed since COVID. My business has pivoted, like a lot of people. I'm now a product developer, a food writer, an influencer. I'm a woman of many skills. I would say that I'm pretty bulletproof. It's kind of tough to rattle someone like me. Many have tried, and all have failed. I don't scare easily, and I take a lot of chances, a lot of risks. I think the next step for me when the world has somewhat calmed down is to move to Paris and to further study baking and pastry. The sky's the limit, and not just for me, for all of you. You all have the power inside of you to do whatever you want. Don't you forget that.